It's Halloween, witch, magic, Halloween. Halloween, witch, magic, Halloween.
Crybaby Lane. Legend has it, this movie aired on Nickelodeon in October 2000. It was hosted by Melissa Joan Hart and scared many. It was said to be so scary that it was banned from the network, never to be seen or syndicated again. After it was deemed a lost film, many viewers who saw it that night claimed over the years of its existence, but Nickelodeon denied such a movie ever existed. Clips and some segments of the movie surfaced online, but no one ever came forth with a full copy. That was until someone discovered a copy of Crybaby Lane on a VHS recording, the movie re-aired in 2011 on Teen Nick, and some truth surfaced to those claims made during the movie's disappearance. Apparently, it was never banned by Nickelodeon, the executives just forgot about it. And according to the movie's director, Peter Lorre, he just thought the movie bombed and that was it. But since its debut, Crybaby Lane has gotten a huge cult following for two things. Its rumored broadcast legend, and those who remember the scary moments. But when you look into the production value behind what happened, it's a little more interesting. Before I dive into that, here's the plot. Two brothers, one young, good-natured, and one older, who likes to pull pranks, hold a seance in a cemetery with friends. The older brother stages it as a joke, but they somehow manage to resurrect an evil spirit that sort of possesses the whole town. How, you ask? It's hard to explain. Groups of kids go around and do evil pranks, some grown-ups do weird things like setting boats on fire, and that's about it. Now the younger brother has to find a way to get rid of the evil spirit before anything else bad happens. It's as simple a story gets that is open to many possibilities, but sadly, it falls short of expectations. Director Peter Lorre explained that Crybaby Lane was based on an Ohio ghost story and he pitched it to Nickelodeon. Even though the network liked the idea, Paramount, who owned the network, had different ideas. It was envisioned originally as a $10 million budgeted theatrical movie, but then scaled back into an $800,000 budgeted TV movie. That goes without saying considering the rushed production feel. It was shot for 20 days with no room for anything extra except for some shots of the town. That's kinda sad seeing Crybaby Lane reflects this. Maybe with a little more budget and time, this could have been a good movie. Instead, all we're left with is a rushed project that feels like an extended episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? That is not a bad thing per se. There are some things I do like about it, such as The Undertaker, played by Frank Langella. He gives a very spooky quality to the movie that does save some of it. I like how he hobbies in taxidermy and telling scary stories to younger kids. There's also some kid who's obsessed with Lord of the Rings at the point he lives his life like a hobbit.
You ever feel kind of stupid? The whole world is full of adventure and we sit in this stupid hobbit hole and never do anything.
We prepare the way for the return of the king.
The Lord of the Rings is fiction, Hall.
Who peed in your cornflakes?
It's so out of nowhere that you can't help but laugh at it. It does tie in with the whole good versus evil ploy, and it gets funnier when you consider how this movie came out 1 year before Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings adaptations. So, here's the big question. Is Crybaby Lane scary? Well, not really. There's aspects of it where I can see it being scary, and there is a moment or two that is interesting and creepy. There's a scary story about a pair of conjoined twins that is crucial to the movie that I do like. And later on, when the older brother tells the story, I like how he twists it up more to make it scarier. It goes without saying how a story can be retold in such a different manner, and yet maintain the original spirit.
Because they shared the same liver, the illness quickly spread and they both perished. Not wanting to expose his shame, the farmer decided to unjoin the bodies.
Then one day, one of the twins got really sick, and since they shared the same liver, the virus quickly spread through their bodies and they both croaked. And not wanting to expose his shame, this farmer took a chainsaw and separated the bodies in two.
There's a scene where the younger brother gets tortured by this group of girls possessed by the evil ghost, and some of the stuff they do is kind of awful. One of the most quoted moments that is said to be scary is when he's dared to kiss a girl. Well, that can't be too hard to— Holy crap, this is some freaky stuff! The point I'm trying to get across is that if you're expecting some long-forgotten masterpiece, you might be disappointed. And I've seen certain movies that had a rocky production history and come out better than the reputation they got. But Crybaby Lane is a much different case. It is a movie that started out with big promise and got whittled down to the point that what you get is possibly a Cliff Notes version of what we could have gotten. It's a highlights reel of the best moments roughly stitched together. The only way I can see this movie being saved is if it was remade with the director's original intention. I'm more curious to see what his original vision could have been before it turned out into this. For now, the movie is not half bad. There's a decent moment here and there that I do like, but it leaves you wishing more could have been done. It's not a bad movie by any means, and some of the acting is decent. If you are to hunt this down out of curiosity, it is best to go in with low expectations. Or, as the film's director would say, it is best to leave it the way it is, with people wanting it, never seeing it, and being disappointed by it. As for me, I say watch and judge for yourself.
Where'd you come up with this stuff?
Kathy, an undertaker lives a life of intrigue.
True.
You're stuck inside and you can't get out, but you feel like being free. Grab a witch and make a switch and see what you can be. That's Halloween, witch magic Halloween. Halloween, witch magic Halloween.
Ouch! That hurt.
A ring of gold to rule them all, to seek them and to find them. A ring of gold to be their king, and in my power bind them.
Excuse me? All right, that's it, kid.
Come, my precious.